All right, this thing live yet? Yeah. All right, cool. Yo. What's everyone saying? What's everyone saying? Live in the cut. It's me, your boy Manny. Good vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my two special guests. Well, not even two special guests. I guess co-host because they're going to be here every single Saturday, every other Saturday. Wait, every Saturday. That's how you say it, innit?
Yeah,
But listen, big up my Yannika's frozen there, ain't she? It is what it is.
bro, her
It
Wi-Fi is
is.
snaring.
It's dead still. But Daniel, my guy, my bro, what you saying, man?
Bro, I'm good still. Like I said, I'm happy this is before our game, so Liverpool can't piss me off, so I can do this with just good vibes only.
Just good vibes only. Do you know what? Yeah, you know the Liverpool game. Yeah, do you not think like are you taking it seriously?
You know what? Yeah, it's one of those things that if a team, I think it's gonna be decent for United than Liverpool. Because if United win, they can say, "Oh, we beat Liverpool." But if United lose, they can be like, "It doesn't matter, 21-21." But if Liverpool lose, it's like, "Raw, when are we gonna win?"
Oh, Yannicka, you're here now. Yeah, big up yourself, Yannicka. What are you telling me, man? You good? Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Big up yourself, Conrad. He's always here, man. Big up yourself, man. Man, like Pogba better than the Pogba better than the ginger Albrighton. Yannicka, what are you saying about that still though?
I'm saying, how come it's changed from Bruno? Because you've realised that Bruno is not better than De Bruyne. So now you bring in Pogba into it because Pogba's better than Bruno. So that's what you need to be focusing on.
I'm saying we got the best of both worlds though.
So wait, Yannicka, do you think Pogba's better than Bruno?
Yeah, as a player, yeah. But Bruno has been on fire.
No, I agree with that.
He has been on fire. But I would say De Bruyne has not been at his best. So is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the point, wait. Okay, cool.
Good. He's been good because he's such a good player, but he's not been at his best. Compared to even last season, he's nowhere near as clinical. I think he scored one goal from open play. That's it all season. That's not like De Bruyne. Do you know what I mean? He still puts chances in because he is that good. Do you know what I mean? But
De Bruyne's not really a goal scorer like that, is he? So like the goal scoring thing is not really that much of a concern, to be fair.
Yeah, like his role in Man City is to basically put the ball on people's feet, and that's what he does. The fact that they miss isn't really his fault. So,
wait, does Conrad support Arsenal?
No, United, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I thought he was a United fan, but man, I don't know.
I think he is United.
Arsenal to get top 4. Don't worry, I don't get. Oh, he's trying to troll Liverpool. I get it because you lot are fourth, innit?
I think so.
Yeah, you lot are fourth. Yeah, but big up to Conrad. Man, like bits and bobs, top of the league. If you're top of the motherfucking league, clap your hands. If you're top of the motherfucking league, clap your hands. Only I can do that still. But big up yourself, man. We've got Ben, Shango. Liverpool don't know where their next goal is coming from. Never mind win. Do you know what? We'll get back to that. Let me just go through the last couple of comments. Pogba is better than Bruno. 100%. Pogba is better than Bruno. But what it is Bruno's impact is just it's unbelievable. It's been so much bigger than Bruno's impact over his. Obviously, Bruno's been here for what, for almost 4 years now. Whereas Pogba, sorry, and Bruno is what, just over a year. So when you're comparing impacts, you know, but all day, every day, Pogba is better than Bruno. We've got man like Omar. I ain't seen Omar for a bit still, but big up. That's actually my fault. Obviously, good vibes didn't happen this week because of the midweek game, but you know, it is what it is. We move. I love this. Empty ad, no fans. You get me?
That's why. You haven't been, clearly. So it is what it is, isn't it? If you can't go there, one day you'll appreciate. Go to the Etihad and experience it, innit? And then you'll know.
All I'm saying is I see nothing different at your stadium. That's what I'm saying. COVID or no COVID, nothing different. You get me?
That's because you know.
I can't lie. You can say the same thing with Old Trafford, fam. Because Old Trafford
it's been known to be a library. That's what Old Trafford is known as.
Exactly.
I give you that. Old Trafford is old. It's old because
it's old and it's silent still.
But do you know what it is? A lot of teams that have new stadiums, the older stadiums are louder than the newer stadiums because when teams move, so say Tottenham now, when they move, their fans that used to sing, they kind of get separated. So you get the fans who go and sing and the fans that don't sing. And then you get the fans that would sing, but they're in a quiet area, so they don't sing. So like where I sit with my dad at the Etihad, it's not that loud around there. So like when I go away games, I sing for 90 minutes nonstop. When I'm at home, I don't sing that much. And it's not because I don't want to sing or I don't want to back my team. It's just because I don't like singing when I can hear my own voice. Like it's supposed to be everyone else sings around you. So at the Etihad, it's the South Stand. That's the loud stand. But when we were at Main Road, it was a lot louder. And it's not like it's different fans. It's the same fans. It's just Main Road was louder than the Etihad. And that's just the way it goes. Do you know what I mean? So.
Do you know what else I think it is? I think with these new stadiums, the multi-purpose in it. So they're not just built for football; they're built for other things. So, like for example, the Olympic Stadium, you have the athletics track. But if you look at Upton Park or like Highbury, the crowds were literally right next to the pitch. So they knew like how much the atmosphere affected the players.
Yeah,
100% agree with that. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, you see City, empty had. That's it. You can give all the explanations you want. Empty had. But let's get to this question. So obviously, man like Ben, big up yourself for the comment. So Liverpool don't know where the next goal is coming from. Never mind when. Daniel, take it away. What are you saying? What's your thoughts on that?
Nah, he's not wrong still. Like for me, I'm more worried about when we're gonna score than winning, because you don't win without scoring. And apart from when we played against Villa's A-level students, we haven't scored a goal in January, and it's a bit peak. I don't know I know I have an idea of what's going on, but bro, it's peak. Like I have to be watching old goals to get the joy of watching goals again. It's awful, mate. Awful.
Oh man, do you know what it is for me? I think we spoke about it like when was it? Was it 2 days ago? We spoke about it off air after our Footy Said show, innit?
2 days ago. Yeah.
And like I was saying, from what I was saying basically, like you see with Liverpool, it's not even with Liverpool. You see with other teams, like you lot are blaming it at the moment on like the fact that you haven't got Van Dijk and stuff, and you're saying Mane and Salah are out of form, which to a degree I do believe they are. But you see what it becomes even harder is the fact that you see teams have actually clocked your system, and is when what game was it? Was it the Burnley game? Not even the Burnley game. Sorry, the Newcastle game. Is when I clocked that. You see your system. As much as it's so effective, it's actually so basic as well. You know, it's so basic, but then it's so effective because it's a system that no one's ever used before. It's a system that Pep has created, like a different, like he's using a false nine in Firmino. Really, no, you haven't got a legit striker, and then you've got wing backs who are playing as midfielders. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. And what's happened now is, if you watch your goals from last season and the season before, Trent Robertson always crossed the ball in, and you know they cross it into an area where they know Salah and Mane will be running into. What you see now is other teams is they defend that area, and it's like teams come off. It's like the centre backs and the midfielders, they know where to be. And when you're in those positions, like Mane and Salah don't know what to do. It's like, wow, we used to have the space. We used to have this space before. Now we don't have it because people are marking that space. And I think that's where it's gone wrong with you. And obviously you brought in Thiago, who is very creative, but then it's like, even with his creativeness, he's not enough to unlock it, because you lot have played the same type of football for what 3-4 years in a row now, and it's now you need to switch it up and you can't. And the fact that obviously with Manchester United, the fact that as well we're on top of, I think when you lot started to crumble was when we started to get close to you as well. So I don't think you guys can handle pressure. That's just my opinion as well. But I don't know. Yeah, why do you think like they can't score? I don't get it, for me personally.
I think there's a few things. I think, firstly, obviously the injuries they've got with Van Dijk out, they kind of need to be a little bit more defensive than they did when he was there, because they can kind of trust him to hold the fort. Whereas now they need to make sure that they're defending. Obviously, Fabinho in the defence doesn't help with creativity and stuff and freeing up space in the midfield. So I think that's having an effect. Also, I do agree with you a little bit in terms of it needs to be changed up, because this is what happened with City. Like, we played a certain way and everyone was like, oh, Pep's been found out last season because it wasn't working anymore. And City have kind of changed the way we play now, and it's effective again. So they probably have to tweak it a little bit. Obviously, they got Thiago. Thiago's a fantastic player. And I do think when they get Jota back, Thiago and Jota together will probably link up well. Salah and Mane will be on form, I'm sure. I don't think this is going to last all season. It's the same with City. Like, Sterling hasn't been on form. Mahrez hasn't been on form. But I can't see that lasting all season. So I don't think Liverpool are going to, like, fall off completely. I just think they're not finding it as easy. But that's what happens when you're defending a title, because every single team wants to beat you. And that's why going back to back is so difficult. Do you know what I mean? And everyone that does it says it's really difficult, and everyone just says, oh, well, you know, it's that team, it's that United team, or it's that City team, and they should do it. But it's very difficult because everyone goes out to beat you, and they want to prove that they can beat the champions. And, you know, I don't know how they do under pressure, because the only time I've really seen them under pressure was that season where City were just immense at the end. Do you know what I mean? So we're a little bit unlucky there that City was so good at the end, but you know, that's the only time I've really seen them under pressure with this current squad. So I don't know if they can handle it. We don't know if Man United can handle it yet. The only team we know that can handle it right now is Man City, and to an extent maybe Leicester, because Leicester were kind of under a bit of pressure and they won it. But even then, it's not the same Leicester squad that won the league. They're missing Maguire, they're missing Mahrez, they're missing Kante. They were all big parts of that team. So we don't really know. But and that's why, like I've said all season, if City sort out their attacking, because obviously we were all right defensively, but going forward we weren't great. And if we sort that out, I think City will be favourites, just because if it is a close season, we're the only team that have been there, done that so far. Do you know what I mean? Under that pressure. So we'll see. I think it's a long season. I think Liverpool will be back. I don't expect Liverpool to finish many points behind City, if any. They might even win it. But
do you know what? I agree with you then. Like, the one thing you did say though, like with pressure, I think you see when you won the league, when you two were going back to back, I think the reason why, because if I remember correctly, you guys would go ahead and then they would have to catch up to you. Do you know what I mean? And I think because, again, it was just you two, you guys were like the best among everyone else. Do you know what I mean? So when it was there, I think when they were chasing you, it was like, okay, let's do this. Do you know what I mean? But then it's like they've come last season and they ran away with it. And I think they've, like, for 2 seasons now, they've been more or less like elite. And then they've gone in and they finally won it. And because they were so far ahead, like, you saw them after lockdown, do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we've actually done what we needed to do. And then they've just fallen off. And I think they've come into this season thinking, do you know what, light work's going to be easy, do you know what I mean? Let's go again and win the league. And I think losing Van Dijk's obviously is, you know, it's a big loss, isn't it? But then even when they lost it, they had Jota, which kind of more or less saved them, because I was surprised when they signed Jota. I was like, why are you signing Jota for? Like, Jimenez is the guy. And then Jota showed us that, no, I'm the guy, do you know what I mean? And it's like you had that going for them, innit? So it's like, okay, even though we've walked into this season feeling that we're going to win it, because that's how all Liverpool's fans, back to back, we're going to do it, do you know what I mean? But then you bring in players like Jota, you're like, okay, he's actually doing a thing. It's, you know, because that's why you tried to call me out on Twitter. When, you know, when I compared Alex, Klopp, innit? What I was trying to say is, like, so Alex will win, but then he will go and bring one more player. He will go and do something. He will build a squad, innit? And I've seen that similarity in Klopp. Obviously, this season is a bit mad still. I can't lie to you. He's not looking like no Fergie this season, but we can never be Fergie, innit? There'll just be similarities. But yeah, back to my point. So I think obviously they've lost they've then lost Jota and the Villa game. That what was 7-2. 7-2.
And they didn't have the injuries that they've got now.
They didn't have the injuries there. Do you know what I mean?
Because of Van Dijk.
Yeah.
He was there.
So I think it's a mix of, okay, one, Villa came at you and dismantled your whole team. You then lost Van Dijk and people are like, okay, you've lost your best defender. Let's go at you. Yeah. And they've done that now. And I think losing Van Dijk as well is also sucked away so much confidence from the team because it's like, you put Van Dijk there and they automatically got better. I remember when they signed him in Jan, they were automatically better from the next game. But now you've then taken him out, your leader at the back, and it's like everything's just all crumbled. And for me, personally, like I don't think it's gonna last long, to be fair, because one thing, when I do watch the games, the only person I think doesn't work hard enough is maybe Salah. But if you watch Mane, I think a goal is coming for him soon. Assist is coming for him soon. And if anyone can get them out of trouble, it's him. And if Thiago can stay fit, I think those two will get them out of trouble. Yeah. And like I don't think they have anything to worry about. Matip is back now. Even though I do think they need another defender because I think you've got 3 centre backs, right? If I'm correct, like 3 first team centre backs.
Yeah.
You can't retain no title. Yeah, plus Fabinho. You can't. I don't think you can retain a title like that, man.
You remember, like I don't know if you remember at the start of the year when we got Rose on our show and we'll talk after the Liverpool Man City game and we'll talk about who is going to win the league. And I said it on that show that with our centre backs, I don't think we can win the league with Fabinho and Matip because for me it's not sustainable. Matip is going to get injured and it's going to be Fabinho and Henderson, Fabinho and Reece Williams. Like, no matter how good Jurgen Klopp is, it's virtually impossible to go a whole season without any experienced centre-back to win the league. You saw Pep Guardiola last season. He's, for me, probably the best manager in the world at the moment, second best I've seen after Sir Alex Ferguson, and even he couldn't do it. So if he can't do it, I can't see Klopp doing it. And on our attacking issues, one problem that I've seen is I think that players are short on confidence. And the reason I say that is because there'll be some simple options that I see players should be given, passes that they should be giving, and they just want to make sure that they give the safe pass. And for me, it's annoying to see because you have to take risks to score goals. When you're playing against a Burnley, when you're playing against a West Brom, you can't be passing it side to side to side because that's what they want. That's what they want you to do. Pass to the wing, cross it, and let the 6'4" centre-backs clear it. So we need to improve that, but it needs to happen fast because...
You know what I think as well? Like, this is why I always say, like, sometimes a draw is the worst result. Like, I know that a point can win you the league and stuff like that, but I think sometimes, like, because Liverpool kind of got a draw against the lower league sides that they played, the first one, I can't remember if it's Fulham or whatever, when you drew that game, in your players' minds, they're thinking, well, we didn't lose. So they're thinking, yeah, okay, we didn't win, but we didn't lose. So when you go into the next game and it's 0-0 late on or it's 1-1, they're thinking, we can't lose again. We can't lose the next game because we drew the last one. So they probably won't take the risk, like you say, just in case they lose. So you end up then drawing another game. And then it's like even worse the next time. So I think sometimes when you get beat, it's like, okay, we got beat. Like when you got beat by Villa, you then went on a run and you were good. So I think maybe if you'd have lost to Fulham, the players would have thought, right, we need to go on a run now and just taken more risks in the game against Newcastle or whatever. Yeah. And maybe even won. Because, you know, with City, like that 5-2 Leicester, as bad as it was, we haven't lost since. I'm not saying we're not going to. Because the game. But if we'd have drawn with Leicester 2-2, maybe we don't sign Diaz. Maybe we don't make that change. And maybe we go on and lose a lot more games. So I think sometimes these sort of losses that you think are really bad can actually lead to your team pushing on. So we'll see what happens. Because obviously you lost to Burnley now. So your team, I think, will probably press on and you'll probably win 3-4 games. That's what I think.
Which is why I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. Like, Aaron legitimately asked me on his stream. He was like, "What do you think?" And I said, "Bro, I don't know. And I try to play it off like I don't care about this game, but every time it can be a Liverpool United friendly match. It can be United and Liverpool playing a 7-a-side, yeah, it's still a big game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think the fact that you've lost to Burnley, yeah, Klopp's probably giving these guys a bollocking. And he's put, bro, tomorrow's game, yeah, I am not looking for it. That's another thing where I'm happy that with the show is coming live today. Because tomorrow, if we lose, if we lose tomorrow, yeah, you won't find me, you know. You will not see me.
Okay.
We have a show tomorrow.
Oh, we have a show tomorrow, yeah. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know now, yeah. Something's come up, innit? But yeah, let me get through some of the comments because I see quite a few coming in. We got Ben, Van Dijk being injured makes no difference. It's Salah, Mane, and Firmino spooning him over the bar every game. I agree with that.
Do you know what I would say though, as well? Yeah. I don't know. I know Fabinho is a defensive midfielder or whatever, but I think his impact in the midfield is what's being missed. Because he frees up space for your attacking midfielders. Like if he's in that midfield with Thiago, Thiago is getting more chances. He's getting more shots in. And I think even though he's defensive, we have the same thing with like Fernandinho. When Fernandinho plays, De Bruyne has a lot more space. And I think that's what Liverpool, obviously your attackers aren't being clinical enough. But I think that's a problem across the whole league. Look at every team and you will see their attacking players have not been clinical enough.
And you know what's funny? Despite our goal drought, we're still the highest scorers in the league. That just emphasizes your point that like goal scoring this season is just so poor. Like I don't know whether it's COVID, no fans, but it's just shocking. Attacking play all around has been very bad to see this season.
And Yannicka, you know what? I agree with you because, I agree with you to a degree because last season, and you've said it on your show earlier this morning, you guys go check that out on Sarcasm City, Girl Dem podcast. There we are. But you see, like last season, you had Fabinho centre back. It took so much away from your midfield.
Fernandinho?
Yeah, Fernandinho. Last season when he was playing centre back,
Liverpool are in a similar situation this season to what we were last season. Yeah. It is quite similar.
Yeah, but and even though I do think like a big part of it is actually down to your fullbacks as well, to other teams marking the space, your fullbacks, and obviously your attackers not be able to score any other goal other than a tapping. I feel like even though Fabinho is playing centre back, that's not really your biggest issue now, because Van Dijk could come in, Fabinho could go back into midfield. Yeah, you still have a problem with your attackers. I think that's the problem.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think our attackers, maybe not this summer, but like there needs to be a plan to rebuild the front three, because with the front three, another thing I've noticed is that it's easier to defend against. When I was watching United versus Liverpool, apart from maybe the first 15 minutes, the United defenders were calm. Against Burnley, Ben Mee and Tarkowski, they love that 90 minutes. They'll probably having the time of their life at Anfield. And that shouldn't be happening with our front three. And Jamie Carragher did a breakdown of it. And for me, I was shocked because we've had this front three for 4 seasons. And if you look at every other front three, they normally are together for 2 or 3 years and it gets broken up. And I think that just needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, like Ferguson did it. Like you need to bring in flesh blood all the time. And I think obviously for United to a degree, I think that's why we went to go and bring in Cavani. And it's a good thing we brought in Cavani because we got Martial, who should be our number 9, but he's not scoring goals. But we have options there. We, even though he's 33, do you know what I mean? You guys, okay, what? Jota's now injured. Who are you going to bring in?
Yeah.
Origi, bruv. Man couldn't listen. As a striker, yeah, when you're one-on-one like that, yeah,
and that needs to go in.
Place it, bro.
That needs to go in.
I'm a centre back, and I'm not blasting it, I'm placing it. Man, what is he doing? Come on.
You know what? I'm not commenting on no one else's striker tonight.
Don't worry.
We'll get to him still.
Man, you know what's crazy about that Origi chance?
Honestly, I've been defending him for too long. I can't do it. I can't. But go on, bro.
That Origi chance, I can't lie, as bad as it sounds, at no point during that did I think he was going to score. I thought the only way he scored is if he squares it to Mane, and it's just because I don't trust him.
Even then, Mane will miss it. I keep bringing it up against Newcastle. Mane and Salah had an open goal,
Yeah. Mane, Salah, Firmino, they made fam.
And they still couldn't score. Somebody's
doing judge in Africa, the Caribbean. Somebody's doing judge somewhere, bro. And
like reality.
You know what? I think this season's been a lot like that, though. There's been so many situations like that this season where people are missing. And I know it happens every year, but this season, I just feel like it's worse this season. Like, you know, even De Bruyne, who was scoring pretty much everything last season, like, is missing chances that he should be scoring. It's mad. Like, I get it from Sterling on his one-on-ones. I get it. He doesn't always score. You know, Gabby is not the most clinical of strikers. I get it. But when it's people like De Bruyne missing and these players that don't normally miss, I'm thinking it's a problem across the whole league, you know.
Salah, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
You keep mentioning De Bruyne. He's out for like, 4 to 6 weeks now. Aguero has COVID. How much of an effect do you think that's going to have on City? Because look, me personally, United cannot win this league. Like, for me, it's anyone but United and Everton thing.
I don't think United will win.
Neither do I. But
do you know what?
I bet you right now she's about to bring up the Arsenal stat. That's what she's going to do. Arsenal 22 games, top of the league.
No, I'm not going to bring that up.
Okay, you better not. That's all she kept saying on her stream this morning.
What I was saying is people are saying Man United will win it because they're top at this stage of the season. We've had 2 seasons, 2014 and 2016, where Arsenal were top after 22 games. They weren't even in the title race. So I'm not saying that it's a case of United have no chance of winning it, because they do have a chance. But it's just the team that's top in January or even February are not always even in the title race. So we'll see what happens. But it's far away.
When you say that, Sky Sports did actually put out, I think it's probably a month ago now, when Liverpool were top of the league that way, saying that whoever was top of the league by December, usually wins the league. Now, I'm not saying that Manchester United are going to win the league, but it's like,
but you went top at Christmas. That's the thing.
We went top at Christmas, but then it's like,
around Christmas, you normally play 19 games. That's one thing we need to remember, because the season started later, so everything is happening later. Like, we've only played 19 games, and you normally play 19 games around Christmas. So if this was a normal season, United would be top around the Christmas period.
Yeah. Who knows, isn't it? It's not happened a few times, but it's been Liverpool every time. So we'll see. Do you know what I think? Like, this season's so close, though. It's not like a normal. Like, I know normal seasons there are people in the title race. It's never just one team running away with it. Apart from like last season, where it was a bit of a, you know, Liverpool ran away with it a little bit. You know, the season where we got 100 points, we ran away with it a little bit. But there's normally like at least 2 sort of 3 teams in a title race. This season's a bit of a strange one, because you've got like 8 or 9 teams who are not that far away from being in a title race, or they're in a title race. So it's a little bit different this season. I just think, like, obviously De Bruyne, I'm not going to pretend we're not going to miss him. He's one of our best. He's probably our best player, but this season he's been one of the best. I wouldn't say he's been the best for us this season.
Gundogan has been the best.
I think Gundogan, Diaz, and Cancelo have all been better than De Bruyne this season.
Cancelo.
Like, you even argue Phil Foden. So there's a few players that have kind of stood out this season, and stuff like that. So we'll see. Today wasn't really a good test, because the squad was a bit random. Like, the players didn't play together, and it wasn't. I wouldn't be able to tell from that what we're going to do about De Bruyne. I have seen Bernardo Silva. Obviously, when he went off, you saw him step up again. Last time De Bruyne was out, he stepped up. I'd like to think he can do it again, but he's not on the form that he was on in 18-19 right now. Sterling as well, not on the form that he was on in 18-19. So we are going to miss him. I'm just hoping that the games that we've got, obviously, apart from Liverpool and Spurs, I think, they are winnable games without De Bruyne. So I'm hoping that we can win them without De Bruyne and then get De Bruyne back as soon as possible. Jeremiah thought that Spurs were going to win the league for a while. So
yeah, you see that whole Spurs hype thing, yeah, like Jose swindled bare man. I couldn't believe it. Like Spurs
he got me. I can't lie. He got me as well, bro.
No, do you know what I think it was with you? I think you were in the situation that I'm in now. You just didn't want Liverpool to win it. So since Spurs were up there, you were probably...
Do you know what? Yeah, as I don't want Liverpool to win it. Yeah, but if you told me right now, yeah, who would you rather win the league? Yeah, Spurs. Do you know what? I can't even answer that question. And the only reason why, yeah, Spurs is a nothing team, yeah, but it's Jose. I like Jose as a manager, but I hate him at the same time because we've had him and what he did to our club. It's weird, bruv. Like I don't know how to explain.
They would banter Man United for the longest time for wins.
And you know what? When I watched the documentary, yeah, and man said in his office to who was it? Is it Harry Kane or Dele Alli? I think it was Harry Kane. Man said to Harry Kane, you know, I'm here. I have better players than I had when I was at, Manchester United. I lost it. I'm like, how dare you? On big TV, yeah? On big TV, you're saying that.
He knows what he's doing.
And then he went to go do the Sky Sports thing, yeah, about him losing his job, yeah? And man was like, oh, fuck off. I was like, no, this guy right now, yeah, is pissing me off. It was that moment, yeah, I was like, Spurs, yeah, they just need to fail. What I want them to do is fail. I do not care. If City don't beat them, yeah, in the League Cup, yeah, I'm coming at you, Yannicka, innit? I'm coming at you. You get me?
I wouldn't get your hopes up for that game, trust me.
No, listen.
I'm
but
not
that's
looking forward to that myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because it's Spurs, innit? Spurs are...
Yeah. But like with Jose, the reason why is because like to be honest, yeah, you see, like when you look at the Spurs squad and then you look at Jose, even before he brought his own signings in, you would say this squad is built for Jose. 100. And then he's brought in a few more signings, and then you're thinking, wow, this guy actually has a squad that can actually do things. Like, for example, the world-class debate that we had on Footy Says, we're going to talk about that tomorrow, but Harry Kane, he's a world-class striker. Imagine what Mourinho would do with him, or what he should be doing with him, or what he was doing with him at the beginning of the season. Players like Son. Like, the squad is just built for him. Do you know what I mean? So when they were putting together all these points, all these games, and then they came and got free, like anyways, and they came and did what they did to us at Old Trafford. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Spurs. That's all I was saying. I was like, Spurs. Yeah, Spurs won the league. Spurs won the league. Spurs won the league. But I couldn't be happier right now. Do you get what I mean? I couldn't be happier. That Spurs, where are they, like 5th or 6th or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Still. Yeah, they'll get top 4, but they're definitely not winning the league. No, never. If I put my hand on my heart, yeah, I'm gonna say Manchester United will not win the league. However, I'm a believer. I'm a believer. No, what's that song? I know it, but I don't know the lyrics. I'm a survivor. Okay, I'm a believer. Let me remix. You get me? So no, but yeah, no, Spurs, man. I did actually think they'll win the league, man. I can't even lie to you.
Oh, that City game that swindled people.
Oh yeah, they did. Was it 2-1 or 2-0? 2-0. Was 2-0?
2-0, yeah. When Jesus was playing like a donkey.
Yannicka, I got my boys messaging me. Yeah, you got fans, you know. You got fans. Yeah, messaging me about you. You got fans still. Yeah, but
I didn't think Spurs were going to win the league. The reason why I didn't think it is because I know it's Jose. I think Jose will win them a trophy. I do think that. I don't know if it's going to be the League Cup or the Europa League. I don't know. But he will win them something.
Yeah.
But I think the league, the thing is with the league is I've said this all season and I'm going to stick by it until I'm proven wrong. So basically, my take on it is that when it comes down to it in the end of a title race, it's different if someone goes clear. Like if Man United go on some mad winning streak and don't lose, Man City lose 2 or 3 games, Liverpool lose 2 or 3 games, and you go 10 points clear, then I can see maybe, you know, it might be one of them things where it won't really matter about the experience of the manager or the experience of the players. But I think if it's very, very close, I've said all season, I think I'd expect Klopp or Pep to come out on top of it, Ole. I would expect that because they've been there, done that. They've won the league. And sometimes it might be down to the players. I would expect the City players to go and win the league. You know what I mean? Jose, to be fair, has been there, done that. But I don't know if that squad have the confidence to go and do it. It's kind of like City in the Champions League. And I always say this. Pep has been there, done that in the Champions League. He knows how to win the Champions League. The players that we have don't. And you can see it. Like, okay, fair enough. He got things tactically wrong against Leon. He got things tactically wrong against Leon. We know that. But that squad that he put out and the chances that they had enough to win that game, and they didn't win the game.
Yeah, but can I say something?
Confidence of the players, and this is what I think with Spurs. Like Spurs, I think they might win a trophy, but I just don't know whether that. I don't think Harry Kane, who's even the captain. I don't even know who the captain is.
Lloris, I think.
Lloris, yeah, the goalkeeper.
Lloris could maybe lead his team. Well, maybe Lloris because he's won the World Cup in it, but it's one of them things, and I don't see Tottenham motivating themselves to win the league. I don't know. They might do it. It's not impossible, but I just can't see it. Whereas, you know, people like Jose on his own, yeah, I think he could do it. But I just think with the squad, I'm not so sure. And I still think that Pep or Klopp would finish ahead of him if it came down to it. But we don't know. It's early days in this season. You know, there's a lot of games to go. And
loads of football to be played.
Can change things completely. If Spurs beat City, they beat Liverpool, you know, they beat Man United or whatever. If they win them 3 games, the league could look very different. So we'll have to see.
Agreed.
It's it's weird. How's these guys hating on me and then asking for a full screen? You know.
No, you know that's the thing. No, you know what? Yeah, I can't even lie. Yeah, man, I don't know how to use the StreamYard thing because man trying to do this full screen. Oh, that's the button there, isn't it?
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, there you are. I was probably looking for it. I'm like, where's this button? Where do you find it?
Yeah, Nika, you have fans still.
You have fans, like my boy. Yeah, do you know what? My boy messaged me. He was like,
for City.
What'd you say?
For City, man.
Yeah, but let me tell you, man. Yeah, you see Jan. Yeah, wait, which thing? Yeah, that's my babes, isn't it? That's my babes. So leave it like that, innit? You want KFC, Jan? Yeah, I'll send that still. KFC, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yo.
If anyone serious wants to send me KFC, let me know, innit? Because this one.
Oh, but yeah, Conrad says Jan, Pogba got more open play goals than Ginger Albrighton this season. What are you saying now, Jan?
That's what I said earlier. He's only scored 1 goal from open play, and that was against Chelsea. He hasn't been scoring like he normally would. That's why I'm saying he hasn't been our best player. He's not been our second best player. But because he is of that quality, he's still doing well. You know, I wouldn't look at De Bruyne and say he's failed this season. He's still playing well, but he can do better. You know what I mean? And if he gets on to his usual form, we're going to see more and more from him. But right now, he ain't doing that.
Listen, yeah, all I'm going to say, yeah. Listen, no, because you know what, yeah, I was remember on Aaron's stream doing the preview, innit? I said, I was like, if we beat Liverpool tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna come on live and I'm gonna sing, innit? So I'm gonna do that if that happens. But if United win the league, yeah, I'm gonna sing that. Don't worry, I'll give you a sweet remix, innit? I'll give you a sweet remix. Don't worry about that, like. Man, we've been slipping, I'm sprung as well, innit? Because man obviously be catching feelings and that sometimes, you get me? But yeah, no, do you know one thing I do want to talk about is I want to talk about our key players this season, because you see for United, I think we started off with obviously Bruno being our key player in terms of last season and the beginning of this season, but then slowly it's moved over to Pogba.
Okay.
I think with City, for me, it was I can't really put a name down on who probably started as well. Actually, do you know who I would say? I would say Diaz was probably a key player for you. and then it slowly moved into Stones and De Bruyne, and then a surprise packaging Gundogan. Did I even say that?
Do you know what? Gundogan's been good all season.
Gundogan is just scoring now.
Cancelo started the season really well. Then Gundogan a bit. But I think with City, it's kind of been like Cancelo, Gundogan, and Diaz have all been key parts. And it's like, it's interesting today because I don't know if you saw the game, but City weren't playing well at all today. It was a bit of a mismatch squad. Like, you could see that they don't play together every week. Fernandinho was kind of on his own in the midfield, not really able to do much. And it was a weird game. And Pep had Bernardo Silva on the bench. He had Raheem Sterling on the bench. Mahrez was doing nothing. Gabi was doing nothing. And everyone was saying, bring on Sterling, bring on Bernardo. And he brought on Diaz, Gundogan, and Cancelo. And everyone was saying, like, Pep, are you crazy? We need a goal, and you're bringing on the players. Cancelo ended up basically winning that game for us. And, you know, obviously Foden scored, and then Torres, you know, Gabi and Torres all got a goal, but they weren't getting that before Cancelo came on, Gundogan came on, and Diaz came on. And it's like, it's interesting because somebody said on Twitter that it's interesting that he brought on the 3 players that are doing the best for Man City rather than bringing on who you'd expect, which is your Raheem Sterling or your Bernardo Silva. He brought on the players that kind of settled the squad. You know, Diaz completely changes their defense, so they're not panicking. Gundogan is just the guy in the midfield right now, and Cancelo who makes things happen. And it changed the game. And people are saying tactically that was really good from Pep because you wouldn't expect that. Any other manager is bringing on attacking players in that game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't do that. And it's just, I can't big Gundogan up enough. I feel like I've been trying to big him up over the years and you kind of get shut down because he's a bit of a scapegoat for our squad. Kind of like how Pogba is for Man United. You know, some of your fans don't like him and whatever he does, it's not good enough. That's the same with Gundogan. But he's been so good. Stones has been on fire this season, but it's Diaz, man. Diaz is just unreal.
I think Diaz deserves more respect. Me personally, like how I see Diaz with City is how I saw Virgil van Dijk with Liverpool.
Yeah.
And but I do not think Diaz is getting the same respect Van Dijk was getting.
No.
Because obviously when Van Dijk came in, and I think he deserved the respect he got. Like everyone was singing his praises every weekend. Everyone was talking about Van Dijk. But Ruben Diaz, it's only on Twitter and the last game people were talking about it. But every time I watch him, apart from the Spurs game, he's unbelievable. And he's only 23. That's the crazy thing. I thought this guy was 26, 27, 28. Yeah. Man's 23. Man's my age.
Right, that's what I'm so pissed. That's what I'm so pissed they signed him because before we got Maguire, we were linked with Diaz, innit? And I'm like, listen, this guy, as much as he's from a foreign league, this guy's actually a baller. Get him. And you talk about respect there, the reason why Diaz is probably not getting the respect that he deserves, like Van Dijk gets respect, is because Stones is getting. You see, with Van Dijk here, he gets goals. He comes forward, he gets goals. Diaz isn't really a goal scorer. He's just doing what he has to do at the back. Like there's a quote I read this. I think it was this afternoon, where he said, "Was it him? Yeah, it was him."
Yeah,
he said,
"I just about 3 sheets."
Yeah, it was like, "I'm a defender first. I just want to defend." You know what I mean? And then I was thinking in my head, I was like, Then people were saying Trent is the best right back in the league, but man can't even defend. But anyways. So when you think of that, I think that's the reason why he doesn't get respect in it because he's not like scoring the goals and then look at Stone. Everyone's talking about Stones, which I think he deserved because I thought Stones was finished last season. Everyone thought Stones was the season before. Who is Stones? And then all of a sudden, Diaz has come into the squad, and that partnership that they've built has kept who's arguably their best defender in Laporte at the team.
Yeah. And I don't think it's crazy because I know Laporte's coming back from an injury, but I really don't think he helped himself today because it was like it's a game where he could have just kept it solid at the back and it didn't feel that way. Do you know what I mean? It felt like Cheltenham could have scored at any sort of second. And I know he's coming back. I'm not going to go in on Laporte because Laporte's been fantastic for us. I just think Diaz has just raised the level. We used to get it with Company. Company would come in and the other defender would just be so relaxed. And it's interesting because if you look at Van Dijk's stats when he came in, it was unreal. He changed Liverpool. Diaz is actually bettered it. Diaz is unreal. Like, I can't even his mentality, everything about him is just brilliant. Like, he said, it's not enough to keep a clean sheet. He's not happy with keeping a clean sheet. He wants them to not even have a shot on target. So I don't know if you saw the other day in that game, in the Villa game, he was on the floor before the cross came in to block the cross.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Madness. Like, I just can't. I honestly did not expect what Diaz has given us. I expected, obviously, him to come in and be solid because I'd heard that he was good and he was a leader, but I didn't expect him to hit the ground running the way he has. With Van Dijk, even though he did that, he was already a Premier League player, so we kind of saw a bit of what he could do.
And we knew he was good.
He was put in a better team under a better manager, he just excelled. Whereas, like Diaz, he wasn't in the Premier League, so he could have come and been a complete flop. We didn't know. But he is just, I just think everything about him is great. And, I'm hoping City are kind of, the way we play nowadays is a little bit more tweaked kind of for the Champions League. So I'm hoping that he can do well in that competition because City have been awful, in that competition. And, we've had good games, but we always concede. Like, every single time. Like, how many times has City gone out like 6-6? We went out 6-6 to Spurs. We went out 6-6 to Monaco. Like, we need to be better defensively. So we'll see what happens. I'm not saying we're going to go and win it. I think it's one of them competitions that you win when you least expect it. So
you said a few times though about obviously Pep playing a system built for the Champions League. Do you think he just wants to keep the football the same at the moment because he has his eye on the Champions League? Or do you think he's changed his system just based on the fact that it's not in the Premier League, you have to keep evolving because like the reason why everything can change after 2 games in the league right now is because you have probably arguably 10 teams, 10, 12 teams who could beat you on their day.
100.
I mean, so do you think he's just saying, do you know what? Yeah, let's just play this way. Whatever happens in the league happens, but then our aim is on the Champions League. Or do you think it's just like he wants to evolve because he has to?
I think it's a bit of both. I think he's kind of realised that City can't, needed to change things up a little bit. I think defensively, we haven't been good enough. I think it was really exposed last season when we had Garcia at the back, who obviously had no experience really, next to Laporte, Laporte's not a leader. So as good as Laporte is, he needs to be next to someone else who's a leader. So we were very exposed at the back last season. Even the season before, like, we were conceding goals. City would kind of have to go 3-0 up for me to be like, yeah, we've won. Whereas now, like, we can win 1-0. And City haven't been able to win 1-0 consistently for years, since probably like Mancini when we were more defensive. So I'm happy about that. And I think that will help us maybe more in the Champions League because, like I say, there's games where you go away to Bayern Munich or you're at home to Bayern Munich and you need to keep the score low. So it might be like you settle for a 1-0 and then you go there and try and beat them away. Like, we need to be able to keep the goals out. So I don't know what's going to happen. But at the start of the season, we weren't doing too well in the Prem, but it was working in the Champions League and we were playing the same way. But it took us a little bit longer in the Prem to kind of get it right. Whereas the Champions League, we were kind of flying from the start. So that's why I think it's a little bit more suited. I know the Champions League's a bit slower. You have a little bit more time on the ball than you get in Premier League. Because if you're playing in Premier League, a Burnley player is just taking you out if you're trying to pass it. It's got to be quick.
Baby Liverpool.
But that's what happens. The players in the Prem, like, they don't give you too much time on the ball. It's like today, Man City were trying to pass it around Cheltenham. You can't play like that. You can't walk it into the net against these teams. You just have to have a shot and hope for the best. But they were kind of trying to walk it in, and it doesn't always work. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I like City's improve. I like the fact that Pep's changed it, and I like the way it is. We feel more, even though we haven't won every single game. I feel more confident when we're 1-0 up than I've ever felt as a City fan, which is nice, you know. But yeah, we'll see. It's for me. I don't think the season's anywhere near over. I really don't.
My boy said he's got a
Stop
three-piece
hating,
meal.
man.
What do you say, Manny?
My boy said he's got a 3-piece meal for Yannicka still.
Tell him to send it to my house.
It will come via me, innit? It will come to me first, innit? I've got to obviously taste it, make sure there's no poison in there. You get me? But no, before I move on to Dan, just one question. You see Phil Foden here, man. Like, do you think he's good? Me personally, I think he's too good for the bench. You know? Do you
No,
think?
100%.
You know what?
100% for me. 100%.
It's funny because like people think that he's on the bench all the time, but he really isn't. You know, he plays. Because I thought in the Champions League he played more than Torres, but that's not true. He's played the most out of our squad in the Champions League.
Is it?
Yeah, he's played the most minutes. And that's why at the start of the season he wasn't starting every game because he was starting in the Champions League. Now that the Champions League's kind of done and dusted for a little bit, he's starting every Premier League. He started like the last 3 or 4 Premier League games. So I think the thing is with Foden is it's good management from Pep, I'd say, because he didn't get rushed in too early, overworked, and then he's kind of tired. Like he's brought him in bit by bit, and now he's at a point where he can play every week. And so far, like I think he's been getting enough minutes. I think obviously he's a big Man City fan, so he's not going to be as likely to be like, I've been on the bench for 2 games, I'm leaving. You know, he's probably quite happy to kind of be in the squad. And what I like about Foden is he's not just part of our squad. He is the reason why we're in the position that we're in. He's scoring match winners. You know, he's influencing games. You know, today he's the reason why we won that game. Obviously, Cancelo coming on helped, but he scored the first goal. And he was really good today. So,
you know what? Yeah.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because he could not. Well, he scored, but he was terrible today. But watch him against Real Madrid.
Listen, do you know that's like? Do you know Gabriel Jesus is dead.
Yeah.
You can't even call him Gabriel Jesus. You get me? He's too dead. Yeah. Like he needs to. He's just too dead. But do you know what? Yeah. Jeremiah has a point. Man City will never win the Champions League. Yeah. Like not even just with Gabriel Jesus up top, whatever. The only reason why I think is because ever since he's left Barcelona, he hasn't been able to do it. He went Bayern, he couldn't do it there. He's now come. You brought him in based on the fact that he did it at Barcelona, gave him the whole Barcelona structure. He still couldn't do it. I think it's the team that he had. You know, the players like Messi, Iniesta. Those players are what won in the Champions League. I'm not saying he's not tactical or stuff, but you know, like for example, with United now, yeah, like where people say we're on form, yeah, but if you actually deep it, we're playing crap. We've just got players who can win us games. The Brunos, the Pogbas, the Rashford. And I think that's what he had there in Messi, in Iniesta. And I think at City, he just doesn't have the players of that caliber. Probably David Silva, David Silva. Okay, I wouldn't say he really had Yaya Toure because I think he played him for a season and then dumped him in it. But I just don't think he has the calibers of players that he had at Barcelona. And that's why I think he can't do it. But then saying that, if anyone is going to do it this season, probably you or Bayern, to be fair. Probably you or Bayern.
You know what I think it is? I think the Champions League is one of them things where if someone said to you now, like, say all the competitions you never knew, you watched the football of each team and you didn't know what they won, you would swear blind that Jose was the Chelsea manager that won them the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? If you didn't know, like you didn't know who won it for them, you would be like, it's Jose. Of course it was. Look how they were playing under Jose. And the thing is, like, I just think it's one of them competitions that I think a lot of people win when they're not expecting it. I know Liverpool what were I think the season that they won it, they were good in the league. That's when they came close to winning the title. But this time before 2005, Liverpool weren't great.
We were awful.
And then Chelsea, the season they won it, they weren't great in the league. They went and won the Champions League. So the start of them seasons, no one would have been saying, "Oh, Chelsea are going to win the Champions League." Do you know what I mean? I remember that title race was City and Man United. I don't remember Chelsea being in it.
They were sixth, you know.
Yeah, they finished sixth. So
they were so dead that year.
With City, I think we'll win it when we least expect it. I don't think when we're flying high in the league, we'll win the Champions League. I'd like to think we can, but I just think it's one of them competitions. But then it also depends on who you draw. A little bit of luck. Some teams get a bit of luck to get where they are and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. I just think, I don't think it's a Pep problem. Pep's won it as a player and as a manager. So it's nothing to do with he can't win it. I've always said that about Fergie. Fergie had the best team in the Premier League for a very long time and still struggled a little bit in the Champions League. I know he did win it.
No, he struggled a lot. I can't lie. He struggled.
Do you know what I mean? So if Fergie struggles in it, I'm not expecting Pep to come in and win it within his first 3 years. I'm not expecting that. I know Klopp came into Liverpool and won it quite quickly in terms of, you know, how he progressed at Liverpool. He did win it quite quickly. But Liverpool have been there, done that before. And I think when that team have been there, done that before, it's a little bit easier. The same
ago, the Champions League was theirs, basically their trophy, more or less.
So this is the thing. It's like the Carabao Cup. City have won that a lot.
What, 3 times in a row now, I think. Was it 4?
3 or 4.
It's 3 before again this year. But
You better do it. I'd rather you bring that home, bring it to Manchester, than it going to Jose and Spurs.
But I think it's one of those things, like, if we got a new manager now, say Pep went out, like, it's not going to be as difficult for that manager to win that because they've been there, done that. The players have been there, done that. They've won it, you know, quite a few times. So I think with City, it's a mentality thing. I think once we get over that thing that we can win it, I think we'll be all right. But right now, I don't think the players believe that they can win it. I really don't. I think they want to win it, but I don't think they believe. And the fact that a lot of our exits haven't been like clear. I know Lyon was like a 3-1, but it was a one-off game. They haven't been clear wins where we've been battered 4-0 or something like that. It's been an aggregate and stuff like that. So I think, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to win it. I'm not saying we're going to win it anytime soon. Do I think Pep can? Yes. But I just don't know. I think it's more about the players. I'm hoping that he doesn't kind of mess it up again this season. I hope Pep kind of just puts out our strongest team, play the City way and hope for the best. Because if we play that way and we go out, it's a lot better than changing it and then we go out because the players don't know what they're doing. You know, we'll have to see. I think he should have learned his lesson from Lyon. I actually think the better the team, the better it is for City. Because when we play,
it's true though. Because you guys get this so-called easy draws. Which, when I say easy draws, you get the teams like the Lyons. Do you know what I mean? Like teams that you're expected to beat. But then you seem to struggle against these teams. But then give you a lot of Real Madrid, you man will beat these man off the park.
Yeah. But like some of our best wins in the Champions League have been against Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. You know, obviously with the Premier League sides, we struggle a little bit because it's kind of like it's a different atmosphere. Yeah. And I think it's quite mentality-wise, I think it can be a little bit confusing for the players. I know with the Liverpool game, they've been there, done that before. They believe they can do it, whereas City were like, you know, can we beat Liverpool to get through? So it was a little bit
the final the year before. So
yeah, I think I don't know. I think with City, it's just I don't know what it is. I think it's a mentality thing. I think they'll hopefully get over it at some point. Unfortunately, I don't know whether sort of Aguero will be there. I'd like to think that he can be. But I don't know whether we'll win it kind of in a few years where we're kind of ruled out. Because I think at the moment we're like favourites for some daft reason. Obviously not.
But the things that when you're always seen as favourites anyway because of the squad.
They're one of the best teams in Europe.
Yeah, I just think I think like you say, it's a mentality thing. I think the mentality thing is it's the whole Pep thing, and I think it just comes from his time at Bayern. It's the fact that he's done it with Barcelona, or he then went to Bayern and he couldn't do it. And I just where I think the whole like where you have I don't even know what the word it is, but yeah, I just think that's what the whole mentality thing is. But yeah, let me get through some of the comments, and I want to come to Liverpool. And Daniel, I've got some questions for you still.
No, and just replying to Abdi, look at the results within the last 10 years out of the top 6. And I can tell you City have had the hardest draws. I can tell you that. But anyway, agenda's better than facts, isn't it?
Agendas over facts.
Look at Abdi saying, "Yeah, and I've got a Magnum for you. I want one too." To be fair, I was actually going to buy some Magnums today.
I've got one in the freezer.
You got it? Oh, I was going to buy some today. And then we've got bits and bobs. Need more than Jesus up front. I agree.
I think that's yeah.
I really do. What,
yeah. Go on.
Like 2 things in terms of Man City. I can't believe we've spoken about Man City for 20-30 minutes and we haven't touched on. No, wait, and we haven't touched on Gundogan. That's what I'm like shocked at, because for me on Gundogan, every time I watch him, he's unbelievable. And the thing is with him, he's only getting credit because he's scoring goals. And for me, that is so stupid. And like, I just hated in England that midfielders are only rated when they score goals. He was bossing games before he was scoring goals. He can play as a 6, build up play. He can play as a number 8. He can be in the number 10 spot, finding those cute passes. And he's doing this week in, week out. Like, for me, he's probably the most underrated City player in Pep's whole reign. And what he's doing now, he's been doing it. That's the crazy thing. He's been doing it. And people need to rate him a lot more. I can't lie. They need to put more respect on his name.
I do rate him as a midfielder. You know my thing. Yeah, I've just always said he's slow. He is. Then when you see him and Rodri together, it just looks comical.
Yeah. Do you know what it was? It's mad because Gundogan, like, this is the thing. When Gundogan and Rodri used to play together, it did look very slow. I think the way Pep's changed it around this season, Gundogan's got forward a lot more, and it's helped him, and that's why he's been so good in that role. Because normally he's not really been like a number 8 as much this season. He's kind of been a bit further forward, and it's really shown. But I think the Gundogan in the Champions League was always one of our best players, and he never really got rated. I think the Lyon game was the first game that he didn't start, and we didn't win. Like, he started every game. We were unbeaten. We played Lyon, and we got beat. So I don't know. He's a big important player for us. You know, Rodri is another one who no one rates, but he does what it says on the tin. He's one of them players. You want him to pass the ball, he passes the ball, but he's not going to do any fancy flicks or anything that makes you, wow, what a baller. Like, he's not going to do that.
I don't like Rodri.
No, but the thing is, you see, I don't like him as well. I just think, like, for me, do you know what it is? It's the fact that you've had what do you call it, Fernandinho there. You know, like, okay, you wanted Fred to replace him, but then you got Rodri as the backup, and it's like, you can't do what Fernandinho does. Like, you're just ill. As when I see him, I'm just like, ill. Like, what are you? I like, obviously, the thing is, he's actually quite good. He's actually quite good on the ball. His problem is he's not quick over the ground. That's just his problem there. Do you know what I mean? He's just not quick, but he's actually technically very good on the ball. But yeah, let's get through some of these. What are we, 1 hour, over 1 hour? Sentiment saying 3-piece, that's a cheap date. Yeah, no, listen, let's move on. You know, no one's stealing Yan for me still. Abdi, Gabriel, a Brazilian Igalo. Listen, do you know what? Yeah, Abdi, I won't allow you to disrespect Uncle Igalo, innit? Uncle Igalo, is a top. Okay, he's not the top.
Nah, I can't lie. I can't lie with Igalo. Yeah, I'm on the fence because I'm always backing my Nigerian brothers. Like, big up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he played for United, big him up, but I can't forgive him for what he did at the World Cup. Still, we should have been Argentina, and for me, I can't forgive him for that. Can't lie.
Do you remember what's his name? Was it Yakubu? Listen, that one there is history.
Yeah, 100.
Igalo's was not history. Yakubu's one is history.
Still.
We needed that goal.
I was literally on the line, put it wide. I think, and it was crazy. I feel sorry for Yakubu, because you know what's mad? He actually scored in that game, but nobody remembers that.
It's the miss. It's the miss, bro. We needed it. We needed it, man. But listen, man, big up Uncle Igalo. Jeremiah. Pep goes to a team that already dominating.
When you're the best, you get the best jobs, isn't it?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. Obviously, like you know, there's always
play for.
Nah, that's another thing I wanted to say.
Prove he's a good player, no, because he's not going to go there. Pep's too good for a shit job. That's why he ain't got a shit job. The thing is, he's not because Pep went to Barcelona B.
That's where it started, didn't it?
Changed them around completely. Then he went to Barcelona, who was struggling, and won the treble in his first season. So I don't buy that. He made Barcelona dominate. They weren't dominating before he came. I'm not saying they'd never been successful. Yes, they had been successful, but you could use that same argument for Klopp at Liverpool. Had Liverpool been successful before? Yes. Were they dominating when Klopp went there? No. Did he make them successful? Yes. Same argument for Pep.
Yeah, the thing.
All that tells me that your football knowledge is not very good. But yeah, carry on.
No, the thing is, I agree. Jeremiah should send in shots for you, you know. Personally, I wouldn't have that, but that's me personally anyway. But no, you see the thing with I agree with everything you said, innit? When you're that good as a manager, you're only going to go for the top teams. It's like, for example, Jose is a top manager. Man ain't going to go and manage, like, no matter how low it is for Jose, yeah, he's not ever going to go manage a shit team. Yeah. Whereas you have managers who might get to a point where, like, for example, Rafa Benitez, his CV is good, but he went to Newcastle in the Championship.
Yeah.
Certain top managers will never ever do that. Do you know what I mean? Big up Newcastle for even thinking of doing that. That's mad. And it actually convinced them. But with Pep, my thing with Pep is, yeah, and I really can't actually say it anymore because in the beginning of the season, I was saying for City, I think they're going through a transitional period. Obviously, they got Diaz, which now has 100% replaced Company. But then I still think you still need a few more things. And I'm just looking at it like, can Pep actually rebuild a team? Because obviously when he came into City, when he came to Bayern, they're already top teams, they're already winning, dominating. He was brought in to win the league. And that's why the Champions League, sorry. And that's why when I think you guys did the domestic treble, no one actually rated it because it was like, okay, you man have been winning trophies. Go and win the Champions League. That's what you're brought in to do. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's why I agree with what Jeremiah is saying, but it doesn't take anything away from his CV. He's still a top manager. If Pep was to come to United, yes, we have top players, but he will still do a thing. Do you know what I mean? If he was to go to Spurs, I see him doing a job there because they have quality players. Do you know what I mean? It's just the fact is, my only thing with Pep is, can he fully rebuild a team? But then he's showing it, and let's just see. He signed a 2-year contract, and so far, from what I say, he's proven me wrong, isn't it? That yes, I can rebuild it. So, yeah, that's what I think it is. For me, that's how I see it with Pep anyway. Yeah. Sentiment is saying Jesus is Bobby Firmino without the flair. Jesus, man. Do you know what? Let's give him a break. He scored today, man. He scored.
You know what? I can't. I was gonna come out and cuss him, but you know what? I try and defend him, but like I think today, like a lot of City fans were saying, if you can't score against Cheltenham, like. Yeah,
and Matt, he scored. So boy, you can't. I think it was because Jan was like in the group, in the group chat that I'm coming for him, and then he scored. So yeah, so boy, Bob's saying, what's Bob saying? They still ain't won it. Oh, he's talking about City. That is okay. Leon, you mad fell to put.
You might need to get further in the Champions League.
Allow it. Not remind us. Do not remind us. We're at the top of the league at the moment.
In the Champions League, I was in school, mate.
At the top of
last time you got far in the Champions League, I was in school. I'm nearly 30, mate.
Abdi says we did say that.
Who was at uni? I can't remember. It was that long ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, go on.
Cool. Anyways, we did say that Man City would win the Champions League last season, and they got knocked out by Lyon. like I said, you know what I mean. With City, it seems to be the teams they should be beating that they don't.
Yeah, we struggle against you.
Yeah, Conrad saying Solskjaer and Van der Beek. I wouldn't say that Donny's happy. Of course, he wants to play more, but he gets about his job in the right manner. He reminds me a lot. Oh, fuck off.
I was reading, I was like, where's this going?
Oh, fuck! Oh my! That has just put me off. What is he talking about? Fuck off! Oh, fuck off, mate!
Conrad, don't do that again.
No.
I didn't see what he said. I can't see the comments.
No, because the thing is, yeah, because I had to read it, and I just said he reminds me of. You see. Anyways, let's just wait in it to the end of the season. Let's see where we get to in it. Ole Gunnar Suarez is absolutely disgraced by benching Van der Beek. I agree, but
let's speak on that. Let's speak on that because I'm not going to. I disagree.
To say because I'm tired of the whole Van der Beek thing. I think he's good enough to start, but obviously, I think he's good enough to start. But you see, Oli, I don't know what he sees in him. Do you get what I mean? So
the thing is with Donny,
Bruno, sorry, that keep starting Bruno. But go on, do your thing, man.
I think with Donny, he first burst onto the scene when Ajax were doing the thing. And if you watch that Ajax team was very similar to a typical Pep team. A lot of rotational play, a lot of midfielders moving in between the lines, a lot of 1-2 passing. United don't do that, and Ollie's not a coach to do that. For me, I think the dumb thing was actually bringing him into the club. I don't think Ollie benching him is the dumbest thing, because if you really think about it, when you go to a game, you have Bruno and then you have Pogba playing off the left or off the right. If you have Bruno and Pogba, you need somebody to do the dirty work. You can't have one person because you're just exposing the midfield. So you need McFred. I feel if you have Bruno and McTominay, I think you're just going to get overrun in the midfield. If with Ollie as the manager, I think if Pep was there, I think Pep would find a way to get Bruno, Pogba, and Donny in a team to play proper football. But Ollie, even though he's good, he's top of the league in terms of tactically and coaching possessional football. I think he lacks a clue personally. I don't think him benching Van der Beek is a disgrace because look, he's top of the league and United are doing the thing. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, but do you know what? I actually do agree with everything you said. The problem is Ollie. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Ollie doesn't know how to. Pep would 100%. Pep will get those three and probably maybe them in all. Maybe not all three. Maybe he probably could get all three into the team. To be fair, he'll find a way. Poch would 100%. We saw what he did with Eriksen and Ali. Playing them out on the right and the left, you know what I mean? So I don't know, but let's not talk too much on that. But you see, the problem with that is like Bruno. I understand why you can't drop him. Like I'm all about if someone's performing for you, do you know what I mean? Even though his stats are rubbish, his eye test is completely trash. He's probably like if you see Bruno play, yeah, you wouldn't believe the stats he has belong to him. Because he's unbelievably trash when he plays. But then what he does, no, seriously, I'm being honest now. But seriously, what he does, yeah, and I love and I understand why you can't drop him, is that he gets you something out of nothing. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he gets a penalty. Do you know what I mean? But he will get you an assist. But what I'm not happy about is the fact that
they were like a 5-yard pass in the midfield, and then
exactly. Do you see his assist against Leicester? Do you see his assist against Leicester? Like that assist against Leicester.
He slipped when Dan James passed it to him, and he slipped. Bro,
and then he was like, Rashford, did you see my assist? That's when I started to dislike Bruno because I clocked this guy is not a baller. He just cares about what happens on an Excel sheet.
That's unfortunately that's how football's gone because me and you were talking about like me personally, I hate stats. Do you know what I mean? I do not like stats because stats, yeah, they lie to you. Do you know what I mean? Like for example, yeah, let's just use Lukaku. Lukaku, yeah, is probably when you look at his stats, he scored X amount of goals, yeah. But then when you watch him, yeah, the goals he scores are probably the third or the fourth goal in the game, which don't matter. One, and then two, his first touch is rubbish. As a footballer, he doesn't have it up here. he's scoring the cheap goals in it. But then in this day and age, you need the stats. Everyone wants the stats. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, like with that, man, I just don't think Ollie's the guy. But what I'm not happy with him is the fact that Bruno, for the last 3-4 games, he hasn't produced and he's just been like this. Why not take him out and start Donny van der Beek? Do you know what I mean? And this is why I don't think we're going to see him tomorrow, and we might not even see him against Sheffield United. I think we might not see Donny van der Beek until the Europa League starts, which I think, in my opinion, is disrespectful to the guy. Well, mad comments coming in. Let me see. Yeah, 3 man like Donny. You get me? Man's doing a stretch still. free my Donny. Free my Donny. You get me? Jeremiah says Liverpool players are burnt out. That's why they're not scoring. I agree. I don't know if you have anything to say on that, Papilo.
I think I was talking about this with a friend, and the sad thing about Liverpool is, like, obviously when people were comparing Liverpool to the great teams, which I was doing, it was very premature. But if you look at the great teams, so United from 2006 to 2009, Chelsea when Jose came, Pep, City under Pep, what those 3 teams did is they won the league at the start of their dominance. So they started winning trophies at the start. Unfortunately, with Liverpool, we have won it at the end. So what we're seeing is a normal progression with teams, because normally when teams are together for a long period of time, they do burn out. So it's sad that they're burning out at the moment, right after they won the league. But if you look at it in the entirety, it makes sense. Fred better than Rodri, that's debatable. And wait, I saw. Wait, you have to go back to what Basil said. Because he said he disagrees with me on.
Yeah, he said Ilkay. I thought he meant Ilkay, but clearly not, because that's littleish.
No, I think he means Ilkay, and then he said something after that.
He does, but he said Ike in it. So he's. You know what it is? Like, unless you watch City, you won't notice what Gundogan does, because even some City fans don't notice what Gundogan does. Even some City fans will be like, what does he do? Like, if you watch,
Gundogan can play 6 and 8 comfortably, and very well. Like, for me, he's a baller.
And he's a big game player as well. How many big games has he come and scored or assisted in? Like,
or even just dominated it.
The thing is, Gundogan is very much like an old school footballer. Like, a decade ago, he will be top. And even then, like a few, 5-6 years ago, everyone was screaming his name. Anyway,
remember him at Dortmund?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When Germany won the World Cup, was it then? When he was just before
they won the World Cup. But like on the Klopp, before injuries, Gundogan. If we had that Gundogan now, I'm not gonna lie, he'd be the best midfielder in the world. In my opinion, because he was technically gifted and he had pace. Now he's as slow as Rodri.
Yeah, he's a bit slow.
I still think Rodri's actually he's slower. Yeah, probably Gundogan still. Might replying to you saying, no, yeah, I know football. Pep went to Bayern and City, they were still dominating. He couldn't even win the Champions. He couldn't even win the Champions League.
He finished 4th when Pep came to us on joint points with Man United.
You know what, Jeremiah.
I'm not saying we were dominating as a team, because obviously City have been doing well, but that City squad that Pep got when he came, and nothing like the City now. Okay, yeah, we had the spine, but he's completely had to change the team. Look at the team that
appreciated. Go away, carry on, sir. I just waiting to sing there.
Now go on.
With Pep, Jeremiah, like, I'm a Liverpool fan. I love Liverpool. I love Klopp, but me personally, I cannot say in my heart of heart that Klopp is better than Pep. I think the thing with football fans and with a lot of people, they like things to be romantic. They like things to be like, let him be the underdog and win against all the odds. That's why people, in my opinion, stupidly would say Jose is better than Pep because he won the Champions League with Porto. But I don't think people remember what Barcelona were on before Pep came. Barcelona did not win a trophy before Pep came. Barcelona finished 3rd in the league when Pep came. Barcelona were like a dead club. Pep comes, introduced Sergio Busquets, who was nothing before Pep came. He bought Gerard Piqué from Manchester United, who was, I think, 3rd or 4th choice centre back. Xavi and Iniesta weren't dominating football like that, and then he goes and wins 6
on his way
trophies.
out, apparently. People were saying.
Exactly, and he goes and wins 6 trophies, and then people say, okay, Pep has won a Champions League since Barcelona, but people need to remember this is the premier competition we're talking about. We're not talking about Ligue 1 or Bundesliga. Pep has won 2 Champions League, the same as Sir Alex Ferguson, the same as Jose Mourinho, one more than Jurgen Klopp. This trophy is bloody hard to win. Even Arsene Wenger with Thierry Henry Vieira only made 1 final. So people need to remember, like, the Champions League is a hard competition. And if you look at the teams he got knocked out with Bayern, Real Madrid won the Champions League. Barcelona won the Champions League. Atletico Madrid, which between 2014, 2016, one of the best teams in Europe. I'll say the only bad black mark on Pep is what he's done with City. But, like, look, Sir Alex Ferguson was in a group with Basel, Cluj, and Benfica and got knocked out. It happens.
Yeah, you're a bad man still.
It happens. Now, like for me, people need to respect Pep, like, because being at the top and winning trophies is not that easy. Frank Lampard had 220 million and man's 9th. So people need to put more respect on Pep.
Somebody actually said the other day that they take back what they said about Pep, because they said, like, Chelsea fans were saying that with the money that City has spent, they should win it every season. And now they're seeing they've spent 250 million and they don't look close. And the money is
and you know the person that said that, the reason why I said that is because obviously English Frank, more or less. That's what it is. They're lover boy. Do you know what I mean? But
you know what it is as well, because it's like, it's interesting because if you look at City this season, like, obviously Diaz came for quite a lot of money because obviously he's well in demand, which is, explains itself. Foden, we didn't buy him. Like, he's free. He's one of our best players. Do you know what I mean? Like, that Ferran Torres, we got him cheap. He's come in. He's been good. So for me, I don't think it's on the price tag of a player. Like, it takes the management, everything else. It's a whole combination. Do you know what I mean? You can have a player like Pepe at Arsenal who costs a lot of money but isn't really doing what he needs to do on the pitch. So, yes, spending money, you're expected to win, obviously, if you spend a lot of money. But money is not the only thing. And the thing is, people talk about this oil and billion transfer budget, but in the same conversation, you're going to say how City should beat Cheltenham because we spent so much money. Do you not realise that we spent so much money to have a squad that is big enough to cope with injuries? And that's what City have been doing. We've been winning every season, regardless of who's out. We've had company out most of the time. We still win. Aguero hasn't been fit for years properly.
The last time you won it, I swear KD wasn't even in the squad.
Yeah, De Bruyne.
98 points, bro. Nah, people need to respect Pep, man. Like, people just like.
I didn't get onto the bandwagon of KDB's injured now. You guys ain't gonna do any better. You ain't gonna win the league. I was like, listen, mate, he was out for a whole bloody season.
Hassan, can you tell me why Man United, who were dominating the Premier League, could only win it twice in what? 20? How long was Fergie there? 28 years or something like that.
27.
What are you always bringing it back to United for?
No, because with United,
I know what you're saying.
He's squad aren't big enough to win the Champions League. But what we're saying is the Champions League is not something that everyone wants to do. If you want to talk about fraudiola, we can talk about Sir Alex Ferguson being a fraud as well. But you don't want to have that conversation because in your mind, he was the best ever. And I can't argue with that because he went there and he did it consistently in the league. But now Pep's going and doing it consistently in the league. You want to change the rules. You can't do that. Because the 2 times that Alex Ferguson came up against Pep, let me know who won. Let me know in the comments who won both times. Please let me know.
Wow. Now, me personally, there's certain slander I'm not here for. I'm not here for Pep slander. I'm not here for Messi slander. I'm not here for Ronaldo slander.
Do you know what? Yeah, this turned to the City and Pep show. Whatever, everything's out the window. But you mentioned Messi and Ronaldo. There, actually, no. I'm tired of that debate. I'm not even going to do that. How would the next round of the European games go? 250 million to. Oh, listen,
the other thing I don't like is this oil money business, right? The worst owners in the Premier League are Americans. So I don't
100.
want to hear about this oil money because Man City's owners have come in. They've come into a team who were struggling, arguably. Do you know what I mean?
Not arguably, you were. The Thai guy absolutely ruined you guys.
Oh, Thaksin
Yeah, he ruined you guys. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Chelsea actually saved us from bankruptcy because they bought Sean Wright-Phillips, and it actually saved us. So big up to Chelsea in it. But yeah,
the guy went to America to play with his brother, innit? I wonder what he's doing now. Probably retired, innit?
But you know what?
Yeah,
like it's one of them things. Oh, he's still around. But the thing is one of them where they've come into Manchester. Yeah, Man City. If you've been to Manchester before, right? The stadium is a pretty stadium, right? But there was a massive council estate, like an ugly council estate, right? Next to it. The Sheikh has come in, he's given Manchester £3 million to make new council houses for Mancunians, yeah? He's come in, he's developed around the stadium. He did want to buy it, but they won't let him because he pays like $4 million a year. So it benefits Manchester more for him to pay rent than him to buy the stadium, and then that's it, and the money's gone. So they won't let him buy it. But the thing is, obviously, he's benefited Manchester. He's come in. You can get a season ticket at Man City as an adult for £250 a season. You tell me what other Premier League sides that are actually winning anything, you can get a season ticket for that price. He's kept things low. And to be honest, I cannot fault him on the way he's ran this club. He's put money into his own business. People are saying we're corrupt. Okay, if you go and spend money on your mum, it's corrupt in football because you're not allowed. Like, that's the way it works. He can spend his own money how he wants, right? He hasn't put a penny into Man City since 2016.
The heart, you know.
Now, because you know what? It annoys me because the thing is, if these owners were white, we wouldn't be having these discussions because the media wouldn't have brainwashed everyone to think that there's some horrible.
Nah, Yannicka, you're preaching. You're preaching. 100.
If you African owners, they'd be saying the same thing, and you'd be saying, as African people, we're offended that they're talking about our people like that. And the thing is, it's one of them things that you listen to the media, they're brainwashing you. Oh, City, they're bending the books, they're doing this, they're doing that. They went to court. So if you're saying City are bent, what you're really saying is UEFA are corrupt. That's what you're saying, because they went to a court and UEFA found them not guilty. So if City are corrupt, UEFA are corrupt. So you can't have one without the other. So it's one of them things, like, at the end of the day, people can come with their banter, but if you could have Man City's owners now, trust me, you would take them because they have done nothing but good. Like Manchester, obviously a lot of you haven't been to Manchester, but
no, I've been. Like what they've done to like around the Etihad area is ridiculous. That's why I think you're preaching.
Yeah, no, it's just preaching. And you know what I was thinking, yeah, as she was talking, it's so crazy because you know how we banter you now, yeah, United fans saying empty head, yeah. Give it 10 years, yeah. I can't believe I'm saying this, yeah, but I'm just saying this as a football fan and just thinking. Give it 10 years, Manchester could potentially be blue. They could have the more fans, and the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of United fans, yeah. A lot of them are the older generation. There's not really like anyone underneath the age of 16 really that I know, or 14 that you say are in Manchester United. But then with City winning at the moment, with how cheap everything is and what they're doing for the City, they're playing it smart, Give it 10 years. You lot could be on that level in terms of followers and fans.
You said that City are the most innovative team or whatever because they're doing a lot.
Your stadium has aircon.
Huh?
Your stadium has aircon, I swear. In the stadium. Air conditioning. I'll keep calling it aircon. I'm African. Sorry.
Aircon, yeah, I say the same thing.
You know what? Our stadium is cool. It's always been all right. Like, the thing is, like, before we got money, we still had fans. Like, I've been a season ticket holder for years. I've never been to the Etihad when it's empty. I've watched us way before we had money. Main Road was always packed. I never even went to Main Road. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things, like, my dad wouldn't take me. There was no space for me to go. It was always packed. Do you know what I mean? And I just think it's interesting because this is how I know a lot of people in the comments are like 14, 15. Because if you're old enough, you'll know, like, I've been a City fan my whole life, right? And I used to get, like, I joined Twitter in 2009, right? But before I was on Twitter, I was on MSN. And I remember people that I met used to go, fair play to you for being a City fan. Like, and I'd be like, well, I've always been a City fan. And they'd be like, you know what, your fans, they've been there through everything. And actually, like, they did, Barclays did like a survey years ago now. I think it was like 2010. And they said that City fans have been going the longest out of everyone. So the most loyal fans in the Premier League, people that have been going 25 years plus, were Man City fans. So if you're talking about buying fans or new fans, you need to look at your own clubs, because City have had the most fans going for the longest amount of time. And like, I know, like, my dad has been going to Man City since 1963. I mean, he's not been on his own in that journey. So it's one of them things, like, people can say all they want. Like, I go to City every single week. I have a season ticket. I go every single home game that City play. I'm there. And our stadium is pretty much always full. I can send you pictures if you want. This whole myth that it's empty, when actually, if you look at the amount of people in our stadium, we've had more than Liverpool over the past however many years, because our stadium's bigger, so it fits more people in. But
Is
even
it bigger now? Is it bigger now? Is it bigger now with our rebuild?
50,000, and we've had more than Spurs for years. Like, Spurs have kind of gone up and down a bit.
I can't lie, we don't talk about Spurs on the chat still.
Do you know what I mean? Chelsea, obviously, our stadium is bigger than Chelsea. So, obviously, Man United's stadium is bigger than ours, but it won't be for long, because City are extending their stadium. And then, like you say, Manny, like, when I was a kid, I grew up in Manchester, so I went to school in Manchester.
I was joking, by the way.
Now, it's not a case of, Manchester's not a case of, it's not like London, where you go to school and you'll have Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Crystal Palace, Man United, Man City. Like, it's not like that. Like, in Manchester, you're red or blue. There'll be some that are Liverpool, because Liverpool's only 40 minutes away, and people's parents, like, my mum is Scouse, so my mum's a Liverpool fan. So you always get people like that might follow their parents or whatever. But most times, you're Man City or Man United. And in my school, most people were Man United, because Man United was successful. Now, I'm hearing most of these kids are Man City. Like, I've got a cousin who supports Man United, and both of his sons asked him for a Man City kit. And he had to go out and buy his kids a Man City kit.
I want to put this comment on, but I don't even understand it.
It's mad. It's mad. Even my little cousin, his godfather is Chris Smalling. He's a Man City fan.
You're talking absolutely. You know what? Yeah,
I don't understand.
I think
talking about nonsense. City don't have fans.
I think
that
they're
are
trolling.
I can't even.
I think he's talking about in the stadium. He's trying to make out that it's other fans. As a Man United fan, try and get a ticket for City. I dare you. Try, because you won't get one. So it's one of them things. These people, they don't know nothing. Like, all you're telling me is that you've never. That's all you're telling me.
Do you know what? Every time I see that word occasion, you remember Cat Williams? The amount, what was it? What did he say? Oh my days! Oh, what's that joke, bruv? When he was, anyways. F it. I can't remember. But you remember when basically Cat Williams so basically the movie, he was in jail, innit? And then his missus must have bought like a new thing, a new baby to him, innit? And the baby's white, innit? And he said something about cooks or something like that. But yeah, sentiment says the English media and Caucasians board turn Arsenal fans.
Nah, you know what? It wasn't even that, to be fair. It wasn't even the English media. But if you go into like that whole section, I think we'll just bore the listeners. Yeah, let's
but you know what? This show turned out to be, do you know what I mean? A City and Pep show. I said it to these guys. I don't come on here with any plan to talk about anything. I actually did want to talk about a few of our other players, but we've done what, an hour and just over an hour and a half. Big up to you, man. Inside, I've had 14 people still tuned in at this time, so that's good. you know what I mean? Big up to you, man. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel.
You need to just stop hating, man. Go learn about football in it and come back when you know something, because clearly
Yannicka's not having it.
Yannicka, she's on smoke tonight. Yannicka is on smoke.
You know what? Okay,
You know
here
what,
homework, yeah? Here's some homework, right? Go and Google the highest attendance in English football.
Yeah, she said that. She said that to me about 3 months ago.
Look at the list. I dare you. Look at the list, innit? These people, like, my football history is on point. When I was at school, yeah, I had to argue and win against Man United fans who were winning trebles when my team was shit. Trust me, I know my football. So you can't come to me with nothing. You can't. Because my dad was on this stream now. Man United fans would have tuned out because he'd kill you. Like, he knows everything. Like, I know a lot, but he knows everything. So
yeah, listen, you man, you cannot come for Yannicka because Yannicka, yeah, exactly. She's a history.
The thing is, History FC don't know the history, and that's what winds me up. Because how are you talking about when we won trebles when that was however many years ago? But then you don't
22 years ago. That's a bit mad.
Learn about the history between Man City and Man United, because I can tell you now, Man United wouldn't exist without Man City. That's it. Mic drop.
Whatever. It's whatever. It's whatever. No, but big up Yad though. She's on smoke tonight.
Nah, I love that. I love that energy.
If you man have any questions in the comments, give it for the last 15 minutes, man. Yeah, but go on, sir.
Now, don't take Pep or City slander anymore, because people are too disrespectful. I was hearing Pep is the best manager ever when he was linked to Man United, and now he's some guy who only wins with Messi. Like, come on now. Like,
I won't lie though. I can't lie. Like, I've never said anything bad about Pep. Only the fact that I don't know if obviously he what was he saying? You know what? Yeah, this beef, yo, Papilo. You know what? Let me make her.
Because I can, I can guarantee that you're under 15, and I've had a season ticket for over 16 years, so I know that I've been at City longer than you've been alive. So that's all it is. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Maybe you started supporting Man United in 2008. Personally, I think that's the wrong time, because you kind of went downhill from there. But it is what it is.
Okay. You have to behave yourself. Why you stop sending United shots?
No, they're sending shots at me. You can't send shots at me and not get shots back.
But listen, Manny, you remember you said the name of the show is Friend or Foe, and look, Yannicka she's showing her true colors still.
And you know what? Yeah, she's in the right position. Look at that. She's right there, next in the four side today. But nah, yeah, man.
I ain't here to be friendly no more. I was friendly at the start of the season. I was bigging up everyone else's team, and people are too disrespectful in it. Now,
visualize it. She has a degree in football history. Jan is the only City fan I know. To be fair, Rose, Jan and Rose still.
Yeah, Jan and Rose. To be fair,
look, no, this comment I'm looking for. VAR, there it is. Go, Jan. It's your I swear your birthday's coming up soon, though.
It is. Yeah. Send me presents in it.
Yeah, come on. You know we got you KFC and that. Big up. Jan, when the homework due.
I was actually going to go to uni and study football, and my dad was like, "You're not doing a football degree." So I couldn't.
Literally, I'm the same. Literally, I wanted to become a football coach, and my dad had this talk with me. He's like, "Nah, you can't be a football coach. I ain't sending you to be a football coach."
You know what? That's one people talk about. People are still here, so we'll keep going on. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, the whole football culture. Let me just get through rattled because it's true. I want to come back to that.
He must be right. Yeah. What I said.
You're saying, yeah, and Sarri won the league and got sacked by Juve. Why? Because he didn't do what he was supposed to do and win the Champions League. That, yes, yeah, that's the same thing. But I think with City as well, yeah, I just think like if they win the league, you're not gonna really. It's like, okay, you won the league. Whereas if you win the league if you win the Premier League, especially this season, as much as you have the top 4. The top 6, top 8, these teams would go at you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was only obviously last season, which was abnormal when obviously
Last 3
Liverpool.
seasons, to be fair.
Oh yeah, and last week because I swear we were
City got
second and we were
100
like 20
points.
points behind
Yeah.
City when they won the league. So
Yeah, that season was a bit weird.
you know what I mean. But you know one thing I want to talk about, obviously, like because Dan brought it up, you know this whole coaching thing, innit? Like you said you wanted to be a coach. Would you still do it now?
Yeah, I think I'd do it now, to be fair. And the reason why I think I'd do it now is not even because I think my football knowledge has gotten better. I think my people skills have gotten better. And I think to be a coach, that's one thing a lot of people underrate. And that's why me personally, I've started to rate Ollie a lot more than I did. Because tactically, Ollie, your coach.
Man manager. He's a good man manager.
Because I feel,
as a man manager, okay.
Yeah. I think tactically, I don't think he has a clue.
Yeah.
But in terms of like getting the players to be confident, getting the players to believe in United, getting the players to believe that they can actually win the league, he's done a brilliant job. And I feel like there's a lot of managers that get rated very highly. And one example for me is Carlo Ancelotti. Bare people always, every time there's a top shot, bare people always put his name up. But if you watch his teams, like you said with Liverpool, they're rather basic. They just do the basics well. But with him as a man manager, he's world class. So for me, that's the reason I'd still want to do it. And I love football. Like you're in a group chat with me. I love football. If I could wake up, go to a training ground, and all I'm doing is football and getting paid.
You talk about thing though, man. I start the message. Let me bring it up. Some people were talking about back-to-back treble. Actually, let me allow. Man, they were talking about back-to-back and treble.
Money. I stays on the group chat still.
No, the reason why I actually did ask you that is because if you man go and check out Bits and Bob's show that he did with Lambs yesterday, What Now? There was a section there they were talking about coaches and BAME coaches in particular. Like with me, I'm really interested in coaching it, but then I wouldn't go and pay money to do my coaching degree because if I'm going to pay money to do something, I want to get the very best out of it. But then I see like there is no progression for BAME coaches at all, because if you start at grassroots, Sunday league, Saturday leagues, it's all BAME coaches, black, Asian. Do you know what I mean? You there are 1 or 2 white coaches. Do you know what I mean? But you really see a lot of BAME coaches. But then as you keep going up the ladder, it just starts to dilute. We just start to dilute away. And I think that's why, again, we don't actually see, people like the Rio Ferdinands trying to be a coach, or, the Dwight Yorks, so I don't know what would you spend money on doing your coaching badges? Would you?
Nah, I wouldn't. And what you said, that's actually very true. And you see it in football. Football is still very racist. It might not be overt. It might not be like bait racism, but it's very low key. And like, I don't know why it is, but they still have this feeling that black players or black coaches aren't smart. They would rather get either a white person, a white British person, or a continental person. So like what you said, that makes sense. I'd feel like I'd always be capped. There's always a ceiling. There's only so far I'd go. And I wouldn't put that much effort and that much money to be coaching Conference League. I'm not gonna lie. If I want to coach, I'm trying to coach Nigeria to win the World Cup still.
100% big up. Yeah, assistant coach. Come on, assistant.
So yeah, like if you put it that way, you're 100% right. Like our barriers, like we're always blocked, and I think the only way that will change is if a black person wins the Premier League, Champions League, or the World Cup. And unfortunately, I can't see that happening anytime soon.
Do you know what I think as well? Like with a lot of that stuff, it's kind of like with a lot of the black managers, they don't get the chances that white managers get. So say, for example, Yaya Toure, apparently he's trying to become a coach now. I don't know how much good of a man manager he'll be, but we'll see.
Should I tell you why he would never be a coach? Or because of that whole prostitution thing that came out? Yeah, I just think he's good enough.
Did you hear what? Yaya, did you hear?
No.
So what was it? It was that game that like Chunks and them man play. Is it Comic Relief or something?
Yeah, it was a Comic Relief.
And then he organized like escorts and prostitutes for his team, and they weren't having it.
So I just think, and that's the thing, it's the media. You see, when the media writes you off, it's done,
Yeah. But That's what I
Then,
think.
yeah, it's disappeared.
But these managers, it's like for example, like the English managers that will get relegated, and they'll be out of a job, and then they'll get another job, and then they'll get relegated again, and then they'll get another job, and it's like if a black manager does that, he's not gonna get another job straight away. I'm not saying he won't get one, but he's gonna struggle. You know, the only real black manager we've had in the Prem is Chris Hughton, and even he's struggling. Yeah, he struggles to get the jobs. You know what I mean? And he's not. I don't think he's been relegated.
When he got sacked and was actually doing a decent job.
Right.
Was it Brighton? Yeah, it was Brighton. Yeah.
Yeah, and that West Brom manager, the interim manager, can't remember his name, but he did really well and still got sacked. So I think it would have to be someone that's like a proper legend. You know, like, I don't even know. And even then, they'd have to, you know what, saying that, in the future, say Company becomes a good manager and our team back him, I can see him staying because I don't think Man City are the type to sack the manager straight away. Like, they have a long-term plan. So, like, with Man City, they plan 5 years in advance. And this is, again, why I say City is a really well-run club, because a lot of clubs, they sort of plan for the season or the next season. City.
What we're not gonna do is turn this into City propaganda.
No, it's been a City show.
We're not gonna do this. We are not going to do this.
Oh yeah,
it's been a City show. Danica has this thing that she's got power, you know. I don't know how she does it. She does it all the time, yeah. When she's on Florida Street, she just takes over.
It's a smile. It's the smile. The smile, yeah.
She does that. People are not here for us, you know. They're here for her.
I
got man them texting me, telling them to tell Jan that they got a free piece for her, you know. Do you know what? I'm ending this stream, bruv. Allow it. But in all seriousness, though, it's coming up to midnight. It has been a proper sick stream. This is the first in the Friend or Foe show. Do you know what I mean? We'll always be here every Saturday with myself, Daniel, Yannicka. Unfortunately, Coach Kojo couldn't join us today, but hopefully we'll be back next week. Sometimes you might not see me here. If you don't, I'll try to get these two on. I'll give them the login if they're still willing to do it. But yeah, that's been us. Me, your boy Manny. Good vibes. I'll leave you two to do your little intros.
Yeah, it's your boy Papilo. Look, listen, normally I'm more happy, but Liverpool are stressing me out. Don't worry. By the time next week, hopefully we beat United and Spurs, and I'll be smiling like man.
That's it. And where can they find you, bro? You got to plug the thing, man. Plug it.
Yeah. You can find me. Wait, I always struggle with this. Yeah, Papilo 017, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Man. Yannicka, go on, man. Shout out your socials. Everyone know they probably already know they're here for you.
I already know DMs, man.
That's what
yeah. There's Yannicka with 3 A's. I have my own YouTube, Yan City ENT, but you'll probably find me on Sarcasm City. So if you don't already, go subscribe to them. I'm always there. It's basically my channel. Take over, innit?
And you know what? I'm gonna say
over.
Just the same way. I'm gonna ask you now, innit? We're going for the
Yanni.
Yanni.
Change it from Manny Good Vibes to Manny and Yanni, innit? Is what it is. You might as well.
we could do the Yanni and Manny show. Whoa, she left. She said, but no, yeah. It's been a proper sick show. I actually think her phone died or something, innit? It's been an actually proper sick show. Say for everyone that's tuned in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, and share with your friends. And I think while we're on this stream as well, I hit 200 subs, so big up to yourself. And Yan City is back. I am not a foe, so I'll bring myself back. But yeah, man, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. It's been emotional. Friend and Foe, episode 1. Peace out and have a nice